Okay, so in the previous session, we have created a data dictionary table by using data elements and domains. And we have seen the options available in data elements and domains. And we have also seen like what is a primary key, what are the maximum number of primary keys allowed in a table. So what is a data element? Data element is a semantic
Semantic
attribute of the table field.
structure.
It contains field labels, field descriptions, and data element. Sorry, domain. So what is a domain? Domain is a
Technical
technical
attribute,
attribute of the
semantic
table field.
attribute of the table field.
It contains data type, length of the table field. The additional options available are case sensitive option and also
Reusability
value
of
table. The main advantages of using data elements and domains are for reusability and to make all the tables consistent. So that if you are using one field in one table, if you assign some data type for the table field, if you are using same table field in different tables, we should be able to use same data type and length. Okay, so that if you use the existing data elements and domains, we can achieve that. So in every table, wherever that field is available, we can use same data type and length. So mainly it is for usability. So today we'll see foreign key relationship. It is not a new concept actually. It is not only related to ABAP. Whoever read computer science and database or DBMS, they might come across this term foreign key. Does anyone of you know this?
no, sir.
Okay, no problem. So foreign key is used to create or establish a relationship between
Two
tables,
tables.
two tables or two or more tables. Okay. So why we need a foreign key? What is the use of this foreign key and why we need to create this relationship? So the foreign key relationship helps to validate the data creating in the table so that it will restrict the user to create only valid entries. Okay. So foreign key relationship is used to establish the relationship between two or more different tables, and this is to validate the data that is being created in the table and also to make sure to create only valid records in the database tables, right? Let's say yesterday we created a database table, employee master data. If we enter junk values, is it going to allow or not in place of employee ID? Because it's a character type. So it will take whatever you enter as employee ID, correct?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, we have employee ID in a different table, employee salary table, and someone is trying to create salary record for some unknown employee, which is not available in master data table. So I told you earlier, right? Master data is necessary to create the transaction records, right? Let's take a bank example again. You don't have a bank account. That means you don't have a master data in the bank records and you are trying to deposit something. Is it going to like is going to happen
No, it's not happened.
because your master record is not there in the bank. You are unknown. You are not the customer of the bank. You cannot do any transactions. Even if you provide some account number and if they try to enter it, the system is not going to allow them to proceed further with that unknown account number, right? When that account number is a valid account number, when a master record is created on your account number, a master record is available in the bank master table with that account number and your details. Then only you can make a transaction, right? So that every transactional tables are linked with the master table. Then before creating the transaction, it is going to validate against your customer ID. Okay, is this ID is available in master table or not? If it is available, it will proceed further and create the transaction code. If it is not available, it won't allow you to create
Won't
any
allow.
transaction. Now, let's take this example. Let's take there is a master data with two fields, that is employee ID and employee name. Let me remove this. And we have this is employee master table. This is employee master table. All master records will be available in this table. Or let me add one more record. Now we have another table. Let's assume this is a transactional table. Is it a valid entry in transaction table or not? Employee ID 100, month 1, salary 10,000. Is it a valid entry or not in the transactional table?
Valid, sir.
Sir.
It's a valid entry because it is available in master data table, right?
Yes.
Let me- Now, Is it a valid employee record in salary data? Is it a
No,
valid
sir.
record in employee salary data?
No.
Why? Because
Uh,
it is
that
not
record is not
available in master
available
data.
in master data.
Is not available in master data. Similarly, we'll take one more table. So let's assume this is employee leaves data. Employee ID and number of leaves. Ten leaves. 101. For example, 12 leaves. Here also, is it going to allow 300? As of now,
Yes.
it will allow. As of
Yes,
now,
sir.
it will allow. Okay, there is because there is no restriction. Because there is no restriction. There is no relationship between this master table and the rest of the transaction tables, right? There is no relationship established. Now, let me create a relationship. To establish the relationship, what is the option available? Foreign key relationship. So I'm establishing a relation between employee ID of the master table okay. So now I've established a relationship between master data table and transactional data tables using which relationship? This is
Foreign
Foreign
key.
key relationship.
using foreign key relationship. I've created this relationship. Now, to create the foreign key relationship or once created the foreign key relationship, if I try to enter employee ID 300 in employee salary data, is it going to accept? Ideally, it should not accept because that master data is not maintained in employee master data, right? Now, the valid entries should be like this 101. So, all the master records available in the master data table may not be available in transactional data table, right? For example, if you take employee 101, he may not have leaves data in the, or if you take employee 200, he may not have employee leaves data because you did not take any leaves. That's why his record is not available in leaves data. If you take any other employee, that employee record may not be available in employee salary data because that employee may not have taken any salary yet. But that is still a valid employee because it is available in employee master data,
Yes,
right?
sir.
That entry may or may not be available in transactional tables. If we creates any transaction, those record will be created in transaction table. When you open the bank account, you just open the bank account. So you will have a master data. You will have a customer master data. And you did not perform any transactions yet. Are you going to find any transactions in transactional tables? Or you did not create any
Sir.
transaction. You did not withdraw any amount or you did not deposit any amount.
Yes, sir.
No transactions available. So your data may not be available in transactional tables as long as you don't create any transactions. That doesn't mean that you are an invalid customer. Is that mean that you are an invalid customer?
No,
No,
sir.
right? You are still a valid customer, but there is no transactions for you, right? That's how in SAP also you can find data in master tables, and you may not be able to find those records in transactional tables, corresponding records in the transactional tables. That doesn't mean that that's an invalid entry. Okay. For example, there is a material number. What is a material master table?
MAKT.
What is a material master table?
Mara.
MARA. Mara. Mara is the material master table. What is the primary key of Mara table? Matner means material
Math.
Mat.
number. Material number. So all the material master data should be available in that material master table. Like when we are creating the purchase order, we need to enter the material number, right? For which materials we need to create the purchase orders, correct? So to create the purchase order, what is prerequisite? That material should be available in material master table,
Mara table.
right? That material is not available, you cannot use that material in your purchase order. It won't allow you to create a purchase order with that specific material. Okay.
Okay, sir.
There might be 1,000 materials in Mara table, but you might use only 50 different materials for purchase orders. You may not be able to find purchase order records for all 1,000 records. Please mute. So that doesn't mean that they are invalid materials. They are still valid materials, but there is no purchase orders created for those materials yet. There is no such requirement, right? Now, there are few prerequisites to be followed to create the foreign key relationship. So there are few rules to be followed to like to be able to establish the foreign key relationship. What are those rules? The data elements using in all the tables should be common. The data element what we are using in master table and the data elements what we are using in transactional tables or any that are the different tables should be same. I'll take it as second rule. Let's say you are assigning foreign key between employee master and employee salary data. So what is the key here? What is the primary key in employee master table? Employee ID,
Employee ID.
right? So here in employee sal, please mute. So here in employee salary data, employee ID might be a foreign key relationship or may not be a foreign key table. Sorry, not foreign key. I'm sorry, primary key. But in master table, employee ID should be a primary key. But in the other tables, that may or may not be a primary key. Since here, see, if you observe the data, these are primary keys, but in general, in the other tables, that field may or may not be a primary key. Okay, there's no rule that that should be a primary key in other tables, but in the master table, that should be a primary key. And what is the other rule? The data element should be same. Whatever the data element you are using in employee master data, you should use same data element in employee salary data,
Transaction.
right? Now, what is foreign key table and what is check table? We call this one as check table. So we call this master table as check table. In check table, the field should be a primary key. The field should be a primary key. And what is these tables? What are these two tables?
Transaction table. Foreign key table.
Yeah, these are transaction tables. But when we are working on foreign key relationship, right? So we call this master table as check table and this transaction tables as
Foreign key tables.
foreign key tables. Okay. So these are the foreign key tables. So the field in foreign key tables may or may not be a primary key, but the field in the check table should be a primary key. Okay, clear?
Sir.
Both must be primary keys, sir.
No,
Only employee ID.
the field in check table should be a primary key. Here we are creating foreign key relationship for employee ID field, right? So
Yes,
that
sir.
employee ID in check table should be a primary key and employee ID in salary table and leaves table may or may not be a primary key.
Okay, sir.
That might be a non-primary key fields also in foreign key tables. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here in our example, these two are primary key fields, but that is not mandatory, right? In foreign key tables, that might be a foreign primary key fields or might be a non-primary key fields also. Okay. First rule, field in the check table should be a primary key field. In our example, employee ID is the field where we are assigning foreign key relationship. And data element name should be same in both tables, right? Shall we create one table and establish the
Yes, sir.
foreign key relationship?
Okay, sir.
Okay. It is also a very important interview question. What is foreign key relationship and how to assign foreign key relationship and what are the rules to assign a foreign key relationship? And you should remember check table and foreign key table. Which one is the check table?
Master table is
Master
the
table
check
is the
table.
check table, and the other tables are foreign key tables. The other tables might be transaction tables, or there are also
Foreign.
some other master tables,
Yeah, yes.
right? Does not exist. Did we create this table? I think we created this table, right? Did we create in 2020 or 2021? There is some issue in the server. What does this mean? What I am trying to search here? If I use these stars, what does this? What does this search criteria means? So I'm trying to search a
That
table name which should starts with ZDemo, and there should be a word EMP.
EMP.
That's why I enclosed with stars. If you use just like this ZDemo star, what does that mean? The table name that is starting with ZDemo. Okay. If you use like this, if you keep the star like this, the table name that ends with ZDemo. Okay. Or if you enclose with two stars, somewhere in the table name, we
that
should,
demo.
yeah, there should be a name ZDemo. Okay. So you can search objects in SAP ABAP using this search criteria. Not only table names, programs and everything, function modules. Where is our table? Did someone deleted it?
No, sir.
So let me find our data types. Okay, data types also not available. Looks like we created it in 2020 system.
Yes, sir. In 2020, you have
Mm,
created.
but seems data types are
2020, sir, tables are not displayed, sir.
looks like there is some issue. It's not working in data extraction is not working in 2021. Anyway, we'll create the table one more time. So what is the data? First we'll create employee master data table. Create. So what type of table I'm going to create? Oh, someone's speaker is echo. So what is the delivery class we have to take? Application, since it is application table, select A and display and maintenance allowed. Go to the fields, maintain the fields. Since it's a client dependent table, use MA and DT as a key. Please mute. And then what is the field? Since it's employee master data,
Employee ID.
so now we don't have a data element and let's create a data element and domain for this field. I'll follow bottom up approach. Not active, that means this data element is not existing in the system, not available in the system. Now we need to create this data element. Double click, yes, create. For now I'm saving it in the local object. Yes, create the data element. Employee ID, this is the field description. Now what are the other details we need to provide in data element? Field
Skill
name,
level.
A.
short description, medium and long description, and headings. What are the other details we need to pass? Domain name,
Domain.
right? When we use domain in data element level, when we need to have reusability, and when we need to use a value table, and when we need to use case sensitive options, all these things. If they are not all required, then you can go for built-in types. But it is always recommended to use a domain. I'm using same name as data element to create the domain also. Click on enter. No active domain available. So since it is not active, double click on it to create the domain. So this is bottom up approach. First we are creating the data element and then we are creating the domain.
Yes.
That's it. It's not a case sensitive. It should automatically maintain the data in uppercase. Activate the domain. Come back and activate the data element. Come back to the table. So your data element is created. Now I'll create one more with the employee name. I'll create a domain and data element. So this data element is not available. Create the data element. So go to the data type and check the domain. So if you have a standard domain available or custom domain is already created by someone, you can use it. Okay. When you are working in the projects, you don't need to create domains and data elements for every table, right?
Okay, sir.
So this domain also not available. Double click on the domain to create it. Maybe I'll take 40. If you want to make it as a case sensitive, you can select the case sensitive option, activate the domain. Server disconnected. Let me try again. Looks like they are doing some backups or something in the server. Go to my table, change. Yeah, domain is data element also created. Now what is the next step? Okay, I think it's better to close. Someone is working on this. Or let me maintain very quickly. What are the next options we need to maintain?
Technical settings,
Yes, technical settings we need to maintain. So since it's a
data
master
class,
table, select the data
size
class
category.
APPL0, select the size category, approximate number of records, and activate the table. Yes, our employee master data table is activated. So a warning is due to enhancement category. So you have to maintain. So how to create the maintenance screen? Go to utilities, go to table
Table
maintenance
maintenance
generator.
generator.
Create.
So provide authorization group as no authorization at the rate NC. This one without authorization group, and provide the function group as same name as table name. So we'll check in detail about function groups when we are working on the function module. Select one step screen. I don't want overview screen or single screen. I just need one screen. So enter the screen number. I'll enter 100. So I don't want to create transport request. That's why I'm not selecting standard recording routine. Create the maintenance screen. My maintenance screen is ready. Where can I maintain the records? In table maintenance generator. What is the transaction code?
SM30.
SM30. I think it's automatically available here. Edit. I'll maintain some records here in the master data. You can also maintain it in SC11. Go to, I think, utilities table contents. But why we create this maintenance screen? In production system, no one will have access to SC11 because it's a development transaction code, right? For that reason, we create a separate maintenance screen to maintain the records. Okay. So click on new entry 100. I'll maintain like this E100 name of. I maintained 3 records. That's enough for now. Now go back. Now I'm creating one more table for employee salary or maybe employee leaves. So this table is to maintain the employee leaves count. There is a limitation for the table name. So I'll make it like this E underscore leaves. Okay. There is a size limitation for table name. Create the table. So what type of table it might be? Leaves count, employee leaves data. Is the master data, transactional data? So
Transaction.
whenever he take a new leave, leaves data will be updated automatically, right? So it's a transaction. You can consider it as a transaction. Go to fields, provide the fields. I want to make it as a client dependent table. So I'm using MANTT. Take employee ID. So employee ID is the key in employee leaves data also. So use the same data element which I've used in master data. Leaves. I don't think we have a data element. Let's create one data element.
Double click.
Let's quickly create this data element.
Yes. Yes. Employee leaves.
So let's assume this count will be automatically updated whenever employee takes new leave.
Number. Numeric.
Yeah. So I don't want it to be a case sensitive, and I don't want any domain or value tables for this.
Built-in type.
I'll just go for built-in type and select
Any.
the integer type.
Okay.
Int 1 is enough. Length 3.
Save. Okay.
Activate the data element. Maybe I missed field label.
Field
That is
label.
optional. If you don't use the field label, right, it won't throw any error. But whenever you are working in the reports, you can't see this field label. Okay.
Okay. EMP leave. Okay. Employee leaves.
Activate the data element. That's it. If you want, you can maintain more fields. Depends on your requirement. So go to technical settings. I'm assuming it as a transactional data. Select the
AP.
APL1. Size category 0. So these concepts are like foreign keys and everything. You can only understand by practicing. Okay. So let's take this example. So in the employee salary table, how many fields we have? So we have employee ID, month, and salary, right? Can we? We are assigning a foreign key relationship for employee ID. Can we assign foreign key relationship for month also?
If we have in check table, we can give, sir.
Yes. So let's say we have a check table for months master data, right? So in this table, what we are going to maintain?
Employee ID and month.
No, no, months.
Oh,
In this table, what this master table is for months.
okay.
I told you, right? For everything, we will be having a foreign key, sorry, master table in SAP. Maybe it is not required. Month ID, month name. Okay, now 1 or maybe 01 Jan, 02
Feb.
Feb, like that. The month master data contains all the months, 12 months. Now, if you need to validate month number, whatever entering in the employee salary data, so you need to create a foreign key relationship with this one, right? The foreign key relationship we have to create for month data also. Now, what is the check table for month data?
MID. This
New
is
table. Months table.
Months master data is the check table for this one, month. And MID should be a
Foreign key.
primary key.
primary key. What is this? So month ID should be a primary key.
Primary.
So you can also consider it as month ID, MID. Instead of month, you can take it as month ID. Field names can be different. Okay. What is the rule to establish the foreign key relationship? Field name can be different, but data element should be same. Okay. Because of the space availability, I've just used MID, but you can take field name as month, right? But the rule is whatever the data element we are using for month field or MID field, both should be same. Okay, clear?